Today we're going to talk about coin supplies, and specifically we're going to talk about coin albums where you can hold your 2x2 flips. And specifically the ones you can buy online in places like Amazon. Like a lot of products, you can get them at a better price or better quality, or for certain quality items, if you go to a coin show where there's usually one dealer selling supplies, or if you go to your favorite coin shop that sells supplies. You know you're getting higher quality things most of the time, and also you usually get a better price than buying online. But sometimes you just have to buy stuff online just because there's nothing close to you, and you don't really have any options. The coin album I see the most is the H.E. Harris and Company coin album. And when it comes new, it's going to be in this clear plastic container, and we'll have this label on it: store and display your favorite coins. This is actually made by Whitman, so one of the biggest names in coin supply out there would be Whitman. So I don't know why they put Harris on here instead of Whitman, but I guess Harris made these over 100 years ago, and then Whitman bought them out a few years back. When I started collecting, you could usually find these at a show or a dealer. The better price was about $6, but maybe you'd find it for $8. I looked today on Amazon, and the price on all of this stuff is going to fluctuate just depending on what day you catch them. The price on this today is $12 on Amazon. The reason I have this one, though, is back in about half a year ago, I was looking, and at one time they had a sale where this was $6, and I needed to buy something that was about $5 to get free shipping. So to me, it was a no-brainer to pick up another one of these. And so that just goes to show how the price can fluctuate on something like this. So yeah, I got lucky. But there are times where you might go to a show, you could actually find someone selling one of these albums used. And I picked them up that way, and you'll find that the little pockets on the inside are a little bit warped. This one I happened to get for $4, and he called it gently used. And you can, if you look closely, you can see the imprint of some coins on here. So if that doesn't bug you, and you happen to be able to find it at a show, used is, I think, an okay way to go. But this most famous brand is going to be a 60 pocket design. So we're going to have 6 per page, and there's going to be 10 pages on here. This is the kind that I see the most. There are different varieties. There's this brand loads from the top, and so there's a little notch right here where if you want to get the coin out, you just press right there and the coin comes up. There are other versions of it where you load from the inside. That can be a good thing or a bad thing, just depending on your personal preference, where you have to fold it like this to slide a coin in on there, and then a coin in on this side, so it loads in the middle. The advantage of this is it's easier to load a coin when you load it from the top. The disadvantage is someday you might accidentally turn it upside down and they fall out, and you don't want that. So if you think that you're just not going to turn it over ever, then I'd say top loading is just fine. But I have some where you load from the inside, and I feel like they're never falling out. The second most common design, I think, is the 80 pocket version. And I don't have any of empty ones of these to show you, but I do have one from my personal collection. This one happens to be my British, and maybe I need something fancier of a way of labeling it. Still made by H.E. Harris. And these also load from the top. It's going to be 2x5, so it's going to be a taller album, but only 2 coins wide. And so this is taller than what most people would use, but when I lay them on my cabinet, I tend to lay them flat like this and stack them up. And so it's pretty much the same concept. There's only 8 pages on this design. To get your 8 pages of 10 per page, to get you 80 in this album. Today, the price on this on Amazon is $14. And so you have space for 20 extra coins, and it costs you a couple extra dollars, and that might be a pretty good trade-off. Before I go any further, I do want to say that this version, there is a newer version of this that has different packaging on it. Instead of coming inside of this package, it will instead have a dust jacket on it, like it's a hardback book, that has a mostly light and dark blue cover to it. That's the same product, it's the newer design. When you're looking on Amazon and you're looking for the 60 coin albums, of course Amazon is going to recommend the generic Chinese coin products. And so there's a question, are these okay? And as you can tell, I'm using it, so I'm saying that I think this is okay. This one happens to be an example of one where you load it from the center instead of the top. And so you can see that you have to bend it like this to get a coin in and out. But I don't have to worry about turning this upside down and shaking it. This particular one was called Safety Coin Album. So I'm willing to use these, but there's one major caveat to that, and I'm going to save that caveat to the very end. But the going price on something like this, the Chinese generic coin album, is going to be $7. At least that's the cheapest one that I found today. But what if you need to hold more than 60 coins? Well, I have a couple of examples of that as well. I just purchased this 120 pocket album. I've never heard of this brand before. It's called Mylar, I guess. And they call it their coin flip album. This one, never even opened it. Let's go ahead and open it. There is the Mylar logo, in case that matters to anybody. And must be packaged well because I can't get it out of here. Okay, let's open that up. This holds 120 coins. It doesn't say it anywhere on the outside. This is another one that loads from the bottom. For some reason, the plastic on here isn't very clear as much as I've seen, so I don't know if that's a drawback or if it's just dusty or some part of the manufacturing process. From personal experience, I'll put coins in here and it's not as noticeable because when you get down to one, it doesn't really show up that much. This 120 count album is $13 today. Again, that can change at any point. So if you were going to buy one of these for $12, I would strongly consider buying one of these for $13 instead. There's another brand that I like even more called Uncle Paul. And while I believe it's another, it's probably made in China, but well, they have an address here in Hong Kong. They do seem to have been started off as an American company. So it's called the Uncle Paul, and so they are showing up. When you just search for Amazon coin supplies in general, this company is starting to show up very often. This is their 200 pocket page. It's going to be 10 pages of 20 pockets each page. They even have a website, so it's better. Perhaps this is a little bit better than just a generic company. This is the second time I've bought this, and it cost me $15. I bought this about a month ago and I hadn't opened it up yet. I looked on Amazon, it's still $15, and so that might be a legitimate price for a long time. But I've had another one for a while, and I bought it when it first came out. Let me zoom out on this one. I paid $20 for this first one. And so this one is, you can see how full this is. And so I've got some Canadian coins in here. This one has some discoloration that is not caused by the album. Just want to point that out. So you've got, this is going to be like purchasing 10 coin pages. And then you have to purchase another album to go along with it. And so let me make sure I counted that right. Yeah, I counted 10 pages on here. So Uncle Paul will also sell 10 loose pages for $13. And a loose page will be the same 4x5, but then you need to bring your own binder. So a lot of this is going to be personal preference. Would you rather have loose pages and then you can just add a page every time you need one? Or do you have a reason of putting 200, 120, or 60 coins together in one binder? And so personally, I like this product. As you can tell, I bought a second one that I have not opened up yet, but I'm making this video because I'm going to fill up this album later tonight. But I said there's a caveat. There is a drawback to products like this. There is one kind that I recommend that you do not purchase. The kind that you do purchase is the kind that holds these coins that come in the 2x2. I think this is 5 centimeter by 5 centimeter if you are outside of America and use metric. But in America, this is 2 inch by 2 inch. When you fold it, it makes a square like this. And when you are going to put coins in an album, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you use coin flips of different sizes, which are appropriate for the size of your coin, and then put the coin flip in the album. If you have an album like this and you just stick a coin in here, it's going to fall out every single time. So they do make albums that are intended to not have flips in them, and they have smaller pockets on them, which have the intention of you just put the coin inside the little hole here without a flip, and it has a little cover that folds on over it to hold the coin in place. I do not recommend those products because that kind of product has a chance of damaging your coin. Will it? It's kind of hard to say, but with these cheap Chinese products, there is a very good chance that they're going to cut corners to have the lowest price available. I think if your coin is in a flip, almost always it's going to be okay because the flip itself is protecting the coins. But the material on any of these brands feels about the same, and you run the risk of putting good coins inside of just the material that you have on here. This material that holds the flips can't be trusted. Now, maybe you can trust the one that's made by Whitman, maybe, but I've never done it. I always put my coins in 2x2 flips before I put them in pages or albums. As long as you do that, you should be okay. It's when you just start loosely putting coins in here that's going to be the problem. But let me give you an example of that. Here's just a regular coin. This one's from Egypt. It has pyramids on it. You don't want to put your coins in an album like this because, first of all, it's going to fall out. But also, after years of being in a material like this, if it's the wrong material, then it's going to, if it's not made out of Mylar, it's going to damage your coin, and it's most likely going to damage your silver coins. Maybe it won't hurt the brass and the copper nickel coins as much, but you don't want a material that hurts any of your coins. So let me give you a final rundown on the Amazon price, at least the way it is today. Generic brand 60 pocket was $8. The Whitman brand, the name brand 60 pocket is $12. The name brand 80 pocket was $13.50. The generic brand of 120 is $13, but my personal favorite is I'm going to call this a generic brand even though they're trying to make themselves a name brand. This 200 pocket album was $15, and I think that's the biggest bargain. I feel like I've seen products that have gone to 300 or more, and sure, you can do that, but at some point it gets a little bit unwieldy to pick these up off of shelves, and 200 coins I think is a good stopping point for something like that if you're going to use albums and not pages. All right, thanks for watching, and I'm going to have some other coin supply product videos coming out, and thanks for watching. Bye.